So we are very lucky to have today Sarah Olson and Brett Grimaldi and Paul Herman, who are going to talk to us about something called the HIP framework for measuring human impact and profit. So I think it's really interesting relative to the things we care about here at IDEO and people that our guests care about when they come as well. And we just had a really nice conversation for about an hour and a half talking probably too much about us, as we are wont to do, and just a little bit about what these guys are doing in terms of thinking about the impact that companies are having and how to solve what I was really inspired by when I heard it a little earlier, how to solve human problems. So that's what this talk is going to be about, and I hope we can think about how we can use this on our projects today or tomorrow and have a nice conversation as well. So without further ado, I'll introduce Sarah Olson. So thanks, Sarah.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having us. It's really a pleasure to be here. So Brett and I, and Brett Galimidi, it's actually fun to say Galimidi. And sometimes people actually greet Brett by saying Galimidi.
We have t-shirts.
Right. And Paul Herman, we're all going to sort of share with you who we are, what we do, and why it is potentially of any value to you or to others. So, so without further ado, basically, we are two companies who are captivated by the idea that there's a huge amount of money in the world. This world and the economic systems are incredibly well designed to create wealth. And there's $140 trillion of wealth in all the different kinds of investments today. But there's also a number of other dimensions of value for humans, like the planet and people's health and well-being and sort of issues of equality that are pressing and beginning to reveal themselves as factors that need to be built into the design of how everything is done. And there aren't really tools that do that. And so that's what we are trying to bring into the world and what we've all been studying in different ways for a long time. Paul has a background as a strategy consultant at McKinsey. He created a company doing financial services for parents and kids and sold that company. He then worked for Ashoka, which some of you may have heard of, which is a network of change agents globally, as their chief development officer, and then briefly worked with Pierre Omidyar at Omidyar Network, the founder of eBay, on strategy stuff. And then we've been looking at all of these dimensions from different angles. Brett is an anthropologist by training, and then went into marketing for Young and Rubicam, thought about how could you apply these skills to something meaningful, and went and studied environment and did field work in Africa. And now he's working with me at SVT. And my background is actually in art originally and social work. And I taught in the Mississippi Delta and got wrapped up in how you'd solve the cycle of poverty and how could you do that in a sustainable way. So through all of that, I combined my social work training with business and have worked for about 10 years now. So we've got sort of this cross-sectoral entrepreneurial experience and are all, I think, systems thinkers. We want to see something that would address the fact that today, 84% of global executives recently surveyed said that they think companies need to deliver both social value and profits to shareholders, but only 3% of them actually feel like they know what to do. So that's a very exciting opportunity for us. It's a very exciting opportunity, we think, actually, for probably everyone in the room, certainly for designers. So how do you break this down? There's an infinite amount of information out there about what is the social value, what's the human impact, what's the environmental value being created or lost. So what we've basically done is, based on all of our experience and the work we've done with a lot of different clients and what we've heard from people, we've thought of all of these kinds of impacts that tend to come up, that tend to be the drivers, as 4 different buckets that we can kind of organize things into. And their health, things like people's well-being, people's agility and quality of life, wealth, meaning people's not only earnings and potential earnings, but their educational resources. Also earth, of course, carbon neutrality and the environmental footprint of products, and equality, things like what is the demographic makeup and is it representative of the society overall. So we've looked at these 4 things and we've thought about, well, okay, so if you measured that, that would be nice in an academic sense, but how do you actually relate that to the drivers of business, and how do you make money from those things, and how do you balance those things with the need to create value for shareholders? What we've seen is that it's actually possible through looking at these factors to drive innovation, because you can spot new opportunities to create value. You can inspire people with new ideas and generate new concepts for products and angles that wouldn't have been seen otherwise, which drives market share. It drives lowers costs because you can retain people, you can innovate more effectively, and it also allows you to inspire and recruit the best people. So you can keep a team that is more loyal. You also have more loyal customers as a result of this kind of inspiration. So that can drive your profits, improve your returns, and of course, create a sustainable society. So with that, I'm going to hand the mic off, and Paul is going to take you through some examples, and then Brett will tell you a bit about what is all this going to mean for us. And one of the things that I want to say actually is, pardon me, because we've only got one mic, what we thought would be interesting is to talk with you about what are your issues right now, and where are you seeing issues of human impact, positive impact coming into your work, and both when you're designing products and when you're talking with customers, how are you wishing you could do something? Because we'd like to hear from you about what you are doing now and what you wish you could do and what it would need to look like in order for it to actually be useful to you. Paul?
Great, thank you.